Kara's here. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the George Mossey Show. Kara's here. Alright, I accepted you, Kara. Adam, hello.
Hi.
Hello. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. Good. Oh, DeeDee's here. Perfect. Let's see if we can add her in. Last night we had difficulties. There you go.
Hi.
Hi.
How are you doing?
How is everyone?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. Before we jump in. So.
Oh, look, my new daughter-in-law's here.
Oh, hello. Oh, new daughter-in-law. Welcome.
Well, hello, new daughter-in-law.
Welcome. Welcome to the family, right?
Yes.
So, Love in Paradise is back. We're one episode away. Next week is the finale. It is over, and we got some Valentine and Carlos, and I don't know. When I saw that they were going to meet up, I was hopeful that one of them was going to become an adult man and say how they felt to each other, but they didn't. They still played like they didn't have feelings and they were cold and they didn't want to talk about it. And even Valentine was like, everyone's going to say that we broke up because I didn't want... Hold on one second. Okay. He's going to say that I broke up because I didn't want him to be friends with Michelle. And he's like, it's more so that I wanted him to listen to me, see me, and make me a priority. What do you guys feel like the real reason is why they called off the wedding? Because it kind of does just seem like he didn't want Michelle at the wedding and Carlos did. And he had a temper tantrum and now there was no wedding. That's how I feel. I mean, he says differently. How do y'all feel?
It was a power play on both parts.
Yeah.
I want to make the rules, and if we don't go by my rules, then there is no wedding. And that's exactly what they both did. But I have to say, I freaking loved Carlos when he said, things happen for a reason. Best of luck. See ya. That was awesome.
I mean, I felt like they both wanted to give it another shot because Carlos, when he went around the corner, he let it out. He was like, he put on that strong face for the conversation with Valentine, and then when he left, he really did feel something. And I feel like he really did make it seem like, it happened for a reason. It is what it is. I'm going to move. I'm going to find the right person. I don't feel like either of them were ready to end this relationship, but their pride, like you said, it was a power play. Their pride was like, well, I'm not going to let him win, so I have to end this because I have to be the one that wins. And I feel like they ended their relationship based on who got the last word. I do feel like that. I feel like they wouldn't open up and just say how they felt. And I felt like a conversation and a meeting with Michelle would have made, I don't know if it would have made them get married, but they could have continued their relationship and worked on their things. Because let's not forget the multitude of problems that they had outside of Michelle. She was only like a chip off the iceberg. They had other issues that they needed to work on, but I felt like they could have continued moving forward. They've been together for years. Hey, Danielle.
But it was just like when Valentine left and shook his hand and was like, okay, bye. I mean, that was a wrap for him. And
like they were only best friends or something. Like they were never in a relationship.
So Carlos was kind of saying when he, okay, well, everything happens for a reason. I wish you the best.
I mean, I want Carlos to be happy. Hey, Danielle, I just watched your show, by the way. I can't wait to talk about it. I want Carlos to be happy. And if it's not with, he said it's not going to be with Valentine. And he did say that he took from this relationship. He was able to come out to his family, accept who he was, be happy in his own skin. And that was a process for him. So he did get growth and progression from being with him. So I did like that he said being with him did positively impact his life.
Yeah.
He's moving forward and he's in a different place than he was before. And I think that's a really good thing. Hey, Tracy, I think that's a good thing. I feel like you need to move forward and progress. You should take things away from a relationship if it didn't work. Because a lot of people say that a lot. They're like, well, I'm divorced, but I got 2 beautiful children, or I'm divorced, but I learned a lot about myself. I learned a lot about men, or I learned a lot about women. You take things from that and you grow as a person and you build from that. And then your next relationship will be less toxic, less crazy, less fighting. So I do think that he took it as a positive and he's moving forward. I don't know how Valentine took it, because he's like, I'm going home single, and he's just seemed butthurt over it. Like, he was just like, this is crazy. I'm supposed to be getting married.
He literally said, I got to move on because this face isn't going to stay like this forever and these muscles are going to sag. Like, he's going to under the next guy in 5 minutes. Like, he had no care. He had no emotional attachment. I never thought they were going to work out anyway. I need Carlos to find whoever's going to make him happy and just put Valentine in the
Yeah.
I mean, neither of you were team Valentine and Carlos, right? None of y'all thought that relationship was going to work. I think I was the only one, right?
I was hoping that it would work out, because, I've been watching them since they first come on, 90 Day Fiance. But like I said in the beginning, I didn't think they were, because they're too stubborn. They're too bullheaded, and they both have to be right. And neither one of them wants to have, will allow the other one to have the last word. They both got to have the last word.
Yeah. No marriage works that way. Somebody has to be in charge. Like, it doesn't matter if it's a polyamorous, heterosexual, it doesn't matter. Somebody's going to be the one that has more power. That's just how relationships work. Hey, John. That's just how relationships work. And until they accept that, they're never going to be happy. Like, you have to submit to one. And I know people are like, no, I'm going to always do what I want. When you're married, your marriage is a compromise in itself. You're going to have to submit some of your power to the person that you love, and then you work with each other. Sometimes they're right, sometimes you're right. You can't always be right. It's never going to work that way.
Yeah, I totally. But I'm Team Carlos either way. I'm Team Carlos, whether it works out or doesn't work out. I'm Team Carlos.
I like over both of them, actually. So.
I agree.
Maybe you're just over them together.
Yes.
Maybe if
that's what I mean, over them together now. I mean, they're still my buddies. They're still my buddies. I'm just over them. Like, it's just move on.
So we got some time with Matthew and Anna wanted to make this night before Matthew went back to Texas a night that he would never forget. So she put on this outfit. I don't want to say it wasn't much of an outfit. She put on this outfit for him and gave him a massage and wanted to make sure that he had the best night of his life. And I feel like they only had a week together, and now they have to wait 5 more months. I can't imagine what that's like going through this relationship. They've been together almost 2 years, and they've spent a total of 3 weeks together. I can't even imagine that. That's insanity to me. I probably spent a total of 3 weeks in an airport alone. I travel so much. So in the last year, I've probably been in an airport for 3 weeks. That's crazy. That's the only amount of time that they spent together. But Anna said that she is going to wait for him. She was like, I've already waited. What's another year or two? So she's like, I'm going to wait for him. And he's confident. She said, actually, her fear was that he would get back home and the visa process wouldn't work out and she would eventually lose him. Because that was always Matthew's fear. Matthew was like, she could just find another guy and she'll forget about me. But I feel like they're both on the same page, right? Or am I wrong?
I don't feel like that at all. She literally said it again. She said, I've waited my entire life for this, so what's another 2 years? Nothing about, I can't with him, blah, blah, blah. I've waited my entire life to go to America. There it is.
Yeah, I mean, she said that how many times at the airport, and then of course she's scared that he's going to find somebody else. I mean, then she's going to have to start all over again. She's going to have to, get someone else and start from scratch again. Of course she's going to be scared.
I don't. See, I feel like they love each other, but see, we had this conversation last night, and then I felt differently after we elaborated more.
I know this isn't about last night, but speaking of last night, we were talking about why is Jasmine? Do we think Gina needs a prenup? Okay, you realize that you met her on a sugar baby website. So yes, he needs a prenup. I mean, that's how they met. They met by him giving her money.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's true.
So anyway, I almost called you today to tell you that.
I forgot about that. That's true. They did meet on that website, and he was just a sugar daddy in the beginning. You're 100% right. So now, now that makes it even more important that he gets a prenup, because that's another conversation.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree with you 100%. So Matthew, I hope that your visa process with Anna is less than the 2 years they quoted you, because Anna's dying to get here. She's literally dying to get here. She's been waiting her whole life since she was a little girl. You're making her dreams come true, and as a bonus, she gets to be with you. Hopefully that she sees it as a bonus. Hopefully. Fingers crossed. So, okay, so let's talk about Everton, right? Because Everton, we've known that Everton was shady since the beginning, but we got a little more info today. So, first of all, Sheldon, who is Everton's best friend, he's shady and he's disloyal, because when Jordan sat down and was like, I want to ask you some questions, I was like, well, this is going to go nowhere, because if you ask a man's best friend what the man's been doing, he's going to cover for him, right? Wrong. This guy sang like a bird. He basically told her everything. And I was like, friends like that don't apply. I don't want friends like that. Please don't sell me out like that. He literally sold him out. He was giving this woman money that Jordan was sending to him to take care of him and his mom. And he said small amounts. And I'm thinking, what does small amounts mean? Like, are we talking like $100 here, $200 here? And what's even more interesting, this isn't one of the mothers of his children.
Yeah.
This is just a random woman. Because I was like, wouldn't it make sense if he was sending money to the mothers of his children to help support his children during the pandemic? Because the last thing you want is for your children to be starving or not taken care of, because you can't work. So if you do have money as a dad, you would send some of that to their moms to help take care of them until you could get back on your feet. No, this was just some random chick that he was sleeping with that he never told Jordan about. That's what made it even
this
worse.
is the woman that called her a tramp.
Yeah, this was the woman who was like, you're desperate for being with him. Yeah, this is the same woman who's in the Cayman Islands, who he's actually been bringing around his friend circle, because Sheldon's like, oh, I know who she is. I've met her. Yeah. That's even more shady to me. Like, she's coming around, being around your family. And the idea that Jordan had to find out through his best friend, because she did ask. You know, she had been asking questions on this trip. He just wouldn't give her any information until he was found out.
Yep.
Am I the only one noticing or realizing the only reason why he did that was because maybe he could slide in her DMs, if you know what I mean?
Yeah. You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Oh. That's true too.
But
I mean, yeah, she has been known to hand out cash to guys from the Cayman Islands.
Okay. Why did they never go to Cayman Islands? Why did we never see this land?
Yep.
Well, they were never in the Cayman Islands.
I need to know that.
But I
know, but that's what I'm saying. She flew back to the United States.
Yeah.
Why didn't they go to the Cayman Islands? This woman spent over $600,000, handed this man over $600,000, just went to Jamaica for a couple of days, met his mom, found out all this stuff about him, and then flies back home.
Yep. I don't know, but when he was singing like a
bird, am I missing something here?
He was tripping over his words. When she started questioning him, he's like, and I was like, spit it out, buddy. Did she or didn't she?
I mean, I assumed he was gonna lie, because that's what any guy would do for his best friend, but he told, and I was like, I mean, it's good that she knows this now, because it kind of seems like she's at her end of the rope with him. Because she was like, I would rather just be alone than deal with this. Like, there's no method to dealing with you. Because even when she was questioning him about it, he was like, you need to learn to respect me as a man and not yell at me. And she's like, do you realize why I'm angry? Like, do you realize the issue is caused? Like, you're the creator of the problem, and then you're angry at me for being angry about the problem that you created. Like, women don't start out scorned and pissed, okay? I was always taught this. My mom taught me this as a child. She's like, when you ever meet a woman and she's angry, she's scorned, she's upset, a man made her that way, right? Like, a man did something to her, treated her wrong, betrayed her trust, cheated on her, lied to her. Women are not born angry, okay? Women are born very happy and patient and kind and understanding. And men, sometimes women, you know, depending on what type of relationship they're in, turn people to this. And I was like, Jordan is angry because of what you did. And the fact that he excused what he did, he was just like, you need to check your attitude. I think that's what really got to me, because I was like, well, the attitude is created by you. Well, you're the reason why she's so angry.
At the end, when he said something about if she doesn't check her attitude, there's going to be, like, she just told you she's done with you. Like, you can go to hell, but now there's not going to be a ring. You literally already said you didn't want to marry her. You literally confessed to cheating on her, and now you're saying there's not going to be a ring?
She don't want a ring.
She no longer wants that ring. She no longer wants it.
The fact that he thinks a ring from him is a prize shows how far off this man is from reality. Like, at this point, a ring from you, you got 2 baby mamas, you got a girl on the side and her, and you think getting a ring from you is going to make her life? Like, you think that's what she's waiting on, a ring from you?
Yeah.
Which,
well,
furthermore, makes me realize, or not realize, but did he really get land with that money? Like, why have we not seen this land? This is all they talked about.
Did you notice that there was no talk of transferring the land into her name? Like, when they were having that conversation, I felt like she should have said, I need my land. Like, let's go take care of the paperwork so I can be done with you. Because she's like, I'm basically done with you, but you can't be done with him if you share this land. So that was weird to me, because I was like, shouldn't you guys be talking about how you're going to make sure that you take him off of the deed for the land so you can move on? She never even brought up the land, which was weird to me, because if you're done with him, you would want him to have no ties to anything that has to do with your land or your money or you. You would want to make sure you don't need to see this person or deal with this person, especially in the business aspect, because if he's going to do this to you in a relationship, imagine how he would do her business-wise. He would take her for everything she's worth.
But also,
he already has.
Sheldon said he's seen the Western Union money transfers. Where is this other cat that he's having to Western Union it to her?
Oh, see, I was thinking that he meant that he saw the Western Union transfers from Jordan. So you think that
that's what I was thinking too, that the ones that Jordan was sending. I'm still trying to figure out how in the world she sent $600,000 to the Cayman Islands when, like I said, I mean, just to send $100 to Mexico, you're like having to talk to pretty much the FBI. They want to know why you're sending $100.
She said, the one part that got me was, she said, is he sending her money? And he said, yes, I've seen the Western Union transfers.
Yeah, that's what he said. You're right. So how big are the Cayman? How big are the Cayman Islands? What's the size of this island?
I don't know. Let's look.
Do you have to?
They never said.
Yeah, I'm curious. You have to take a plane to get from one part of the island to the other, because Western Union normally means that it's a plane right away, right? It's far. I don't know. This might be a bigger island than I'm envisioning in my mind. I thought it was a small.
I mean, Cayman Islands is a big island, but
it's not. It's 101 miles long.
Oh, see, yeah, that's not that big. Hey, Jamie.
Hey, Jamie.
Okay. I'm gonna see how much money I can send. I mean, I don't have any.
Send something my way too, since you want to send money somewhere.
I'm pretty sure that, because I used to buy money orders, and they wouldn't even let me buy money orders for over like $1,000 without like showing like proof of stuff. So I'm pretty sure, and that was within the US. So I'm pretty sure you couldn't possibly send somebody more than like $20,000 without someone asking questions, right? Without you having to show proof of funds or proof of what it's for, because the government's going to want their share, right?
It says that there is no limit on the amount of money you can send over there. There's just a daily limit. So she would have to send it daily to send.
No. That's crazy. No limit.
That is very crazy, especially if you're sending it from the U.S. over there. I mean, that's
You would think people would ask
crazy.
questions.
Yeah.
Or
Hey,
clingers.
hey, Scotty. Scotty's here, guys. Scotty, we haven't gotten to you yet, sir.
Scott?
We haven't gotten to you yet. We have a lot to talk about.
Yes, we do. Are you going to be here next week for the tell-all, Scott?
Yeah, Scott, you should join us. I think after the finale, you're allowed to go live.
Yes.
So we would love to talk to you about some of the things that took place this season on Love in Paradise. We would love to get your input on that because, I mean, I think we're ready to talk about Scott anyway, right? I feel like we're ready. So Liz 2.0, right? 2.0. She joined us on the island and he took her out to, Carlos. Hi, Carlos. Here. Hey, Carlos. And we were watching Scott and Liz interact, and Liz told us that the only reason why she stopped communicating with Scott was because she thought that he was moving too fast and he was pressuring her to get married, right? And Scott has told us throughout the season that he's ready to settle down. He's looking for a wife. So that is definitely talk about.
We did.
Oh, Carlos, you haven't watched it yet?
We done talked about you. We done talked about you.
Where
If
were
it makes
you?
Carlos, I am Team Carlos all the way.
Yeah, Cara is Team Carlos, and we want you to be happy, Carlos. I'm not gonna lie though, I was a little disappointed that you guys didn't work it out because I felt like y'all had overcome a lot of issues throughout the seasons and the years, and I thought that this was gonna be something y'all were gonna be able to overcome. But I think that if you feel Valentine is not the person that is going to make you happy and give you what you need, you made the right decision. We don't know because we weren't there. But I just want you both to be happy. So I was a little disappointed. I was hoping to see somebody get married this season, but we didn't see that. So I was a little disappointed. But again, it's not up to me. It's not up to me who gets married and who doesn't. It's up to you guys. So I don't hate you. No, stop. I don't hate you. You know that's not true.
I love
you.
It's fine.
So Scott came on a little strong in the car, right? And he was saying, like, do you want to come to the U.S. with me? Before they even got, situated and checked into the hotel. And Liz kind of freaked out, like she was not ready for that amount of pressure. And she felt like it was the repeat of their last time that they were together. Like she felt like she couldn't just be in the moment with Scott. Scott was always thinking of the future. What are we going to do next? Are we going to get married? Are we going to move in together? And she flipped out and left. Like she literally packed her stuff and she was out. So I was going to say this is going to probably be the limit she set the limit for the shortest amount of time a person was on the show. Because she joined on this episode and she left on this episode kind of within like the same scene, right? Or maybe 2 scenes. Like she didn't really have to work too hard to earn her appearance fee on this episode because she's in there for like 5 seconds. Nope. But she literally booked a flight, booked another hotel room, and she was done. And I feel bad for Scott because I know that he's just looking to settle down. He's had his wild oats. He's lived his life. He's had his fun, and he's ready to find a wife. And it seems like he's coming along a little strong, right? Women like to have attention, like to be desired, but they also don't like to be smothered. And I feel like Scott might be crossing the line of making her feel a little smothered. Yes. And I know, like, there's a fine line between really giving a woman attention and then being there way too much. So I feel like we just got to find that fine line and make sure we keep Scott on this side of the line, right? Because I feel like he has good intentions. Like, I definitely feel like Scott has good intentions. He wants to find a beautiful woman, make her his wife, move her in, start a family, and just be a family man. I feel like that's his intention, and I feel like there's nothing wrong with that. I just feel like he's got to go a little slower.
I disagree. I don't think he wants to start a family. He's got kids. He's just ready to have someone to wake up to every morning, someone to enjoy dinner.
Oh, no, I mean, with his dog. No more kids. No. I mean, move in his wife, and then they take care of his dog together.
We're making Scotty have some kids.
No.
But Cara,
you know his little baby, his daughter, his dog. Yeah, I was talking about her.
Cara, what did we say last week? Me and you were on point once again. Yep. that she was probably going to be on today, but she probably wasn't going to be on there that long, and she was going to disappear.
Yep.
Why? Because she said last week when she was on there, the only reason she went to the Dominican Republic was because she knew Scotty was with Lydia, and she had to go fight for her man. That's what she said. Me
Yeah,
and Carl was
that's
on
true.
point. She found out Scott was no. Hi, Scott. Give me a second. I ain't done yet. She found out Scott was no longer with Lydia, so she had no more competition. So what did she do? Poof.
Yep.
She was gone.
Yep.
Me and Carl said it.
Yeah, that is what you guys said last week. How accurate does that sound, Scott?
No comment right now. I just came on to say I'm single. That's all.
Okay, y'all heard it here. He's single. If you guys are looking to settle down and not play games,
And then
Scott is single.
hey, Carlos and I are going to do Love in Paradise 4 together.
Nice.
Okay, I would love that.
Hey,
Or the single life.
get my body nice and tight to do.
You're gonna do Love in Paradise if you're single.
Hey, he's got to teach me how to kiss better from like the last episode. I was like,
Good. Burning question. If you and Carlos are doing it together, which one of you is the bottom?
That's a very good question.
That's a very good question.
my
That's a
bitch.
relevant
Hey.
question.
Carlos is my bitch. That's the way it's going to work. Okay?
Oh, okay.
Hey, I love
'Cause we-
Carlos.
We can't have
Carlos,
two tops no
hey,
more.
No, all kidding aside, this is going to take off and people are going to say, nah, I love Carlos to death. I think he's awesome. But hey, not to brag, I passed him up on Instagram. I'm 32.9. He's 32.8.
Oh, snap.
So Carlos,
Oh,
hey, all those followers, you need to follow me more. I need more followers. I want to pass Carlos up in a big way. And the only thing Carlos has got me beat, like I got the 2-pack. He's got the 8-pack, but I'm going to work on it now because I'm.
it's difficult to keep up with Carlos. Every time he posts a story, he seems more ripped than the day before.
He is the most disciplined guy. I mean, not to take discount. I'm 52. It's hard, but I'm saying the guy is very disciplined, and it's all diet, and he's very. I mean, I admire him. He's a great work ethic, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, Carlos says his are real. He's taking jabs right now. He said that his abs are real.
Yeah, listen. I'm 52 years old, but listen. Right now, today, I declare, give me 12 weeks. I'm going to catch up to him, and him and I are going to redo the shower scene. I'm going to come visit him in Colombia. We're going to
So wait.
do a parody on that. We're going to do a parody.
Okay.
The shower scene with Carlos.
So
We're gonna hold.
man.
dog?
What-
The shower scene with your dog is gonna be.
Oh, no. Dogs get kicked. Allie's get kicked out.
Oh, snap.
All right, I got to go. I'm going to get in trouble again. I cannot go live. So
Tomorrow.
here it was another guy that looked like me, but it wasn't me.
It wasn't Scott.
It wasn't me.
Tell
Oh.
all.
All right, see you guys. Be good. Bye.
All right.
Bye.
All right. Okay, so Carlos, while you're here, next week we're going to go live and we're gonna do a little kind of like a tell-all. So if you want to join us and kind of give us your side of the story, Valentine actually DM'd me earlier in the season and he said that he wants to come on and clarify a few things. So we're gonna do that. But if you want to come on next week and talk to us about anything that you want to clarify that happened this season, we're open to that. We would love to hear about some of the stuff we didn't get to see, because I know that everybody at home wants to think that it's all about Michelle. So I kind of want to hear from you and know exactly what really ended that relationship and what made you feel like it wasn't something that you guys could work on, because like I said, I'm a little hurt that you guys broke up. So I'm definitely open to hearing about that, and hopefully Valentine can shed a little light on that too. Don't worry, we won't have you guys on at the same time. I know you're completely moved on and you're seeing forward, so we won't have you guys on at the same time. You don't have to deal with any of that. Yeah. I know that's not something people like to do, is talk to their exes when they don't have to. So all right, so who do we not talk about?
Jordan and Everton. No, we talked about that.
No,
Jordan and Everton.
that's what we were talking about. We were talking about them about the land and stuff.
Yes.
Yeah, that's crazy. Like,
have no April and whatever that
Valentine.
Valentine.
Oh yeah, there's no April and Valentine this week, but next week we're going to see them, the aftermath of when he told her to leave and she left, and then she was kind of talking to him about like, oh, do you know how much money it costs for me to come here? And all right, I'm just gonna say it. April talks about money a lot.
Yeah.
To be someone who has so much money, she talks about money a lot, and I feel like she's letting it get in the way of her relationships, because when you're in a relationship where it's income imbalanced, making money a huge deal is only going to cause problems in your relationship because you're making someone feel inadequate. And it's like, if you have so much money, stop making money a major priority to yourself. Because, you know, I've always heard people say rich people never talk about money. They never worry about money. It's not an issue because they're rich. That's something that, you know, people who don't have money do. We do that. We worry about money. We talk about money because we don't have it. I just would rather April spend more time connecting with Valentine on subjects outside of how much does this cost? Where are you going to live so you can be taken care of by my money? Like, everything is income based. So I kind of understand why he feels the way he does. Like, their relationship is never going to be equal. He would rather be with someone who's going to make him feel like they're equal. And I feel like as long as his income is lower than April's, she's always going to make it an issue. And there's plenty of people, first of all, in 2023, where a man makes less than his wife and their relationship works completely fine.
Yep.
They just don't talk about money. You know, when it comes down to it, if you're married and you have a joint bank account, it doesn't really matter who's putting money in there, as long as you're taking care of your household and you get along and there's no issues. Like, I feel like it's not that big of a deal. And men making less money than women, or women making more money than men, that is so old. Like, no one even fights about that anymore. It's not even a situation of feeling insecure. Like, I think it's great when both people are working. The amount of money they make is ridiculously unimportant. I feel like when you're working together, you're a team and you get along, that's the best type of relationship you can have. Because I think when people are in relationships where they're dependent on one person, and that person is stressed because they're like, this whole family's depending on me. And like, I just saw a GoFundMe story the other day where a Uber driver was killed. He had a big family. He was the only person in the family that worked. So now that family is left with nothing, no one to take care of them. And it's like, so when I see two people working and they're both making a living, who cares how much they're getting? As long as you're doing that and you're taking care of your family, that's all that matters.
Yep.
Exactly.
The only people that makes more money is, and I hate to sound that way, but I'm going to say it, and you guys come after me if you feel like it, but I don't answer my DMs anyway, so there's that. But only people that say shit about who makes more is the women that want equal rights and equal this and equal that, and think that they're powerhouses, think that they're invincible. Just because she has established herself well, if she was with a well-established man, she wouldn't be saying that. You know, it would be totally equal, or she would be making less. But because she makes more, it puts her in that position to hold that over his head.
Yeah.
And that, I mean, that's not right. It doesn't matter which one is making more money.
Yeah.
As long as both of you are working and both of you are putting in, you know, putting into making the home work together, the relationship work, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter.
April knew Valentine's situation when she met him. Oh, and guess what? Valentine told me the other day, he's the father of two daughters. So he's working. He's like, I'm a very hardworking father. I take care of my daughters. He's like, I don't accept money from April. He's like, I want to be independent as possible. And he's like, the reason why, you know, we clashed was because she wanted to be in control of everything. And he was like, before she came around, I was already working. I was taking care of my daughters. I was helping with my family. I was helping do things around, you know, our home. So he was like, I don't need her money. And he was like, I think the clashing started when she realized that I don't want it. I don't want your money. It's not, you can't control me with it because I don't want it.
Yeah.
I take care of myself. Because I was like, I'm so shocked because I was like, they didn't mention once you had children, and neither did April.
Exactly.
So
exactly.
I was really taken back because he was like, I just want people to know I'm a dad. I take care of my daughters. I work. I am not lazy. I was not looking for anyone to take care of me or my family. She is the one that is making it seem that way. But he's like, I never was looking for that.
And I can see that. He seems like a very responsible person. He seems like he's very humble, very down to earth, and that he's never asked. He's kind of put off by her behavior in every scene. So
Yeah.
I very much believe that.
But I can't believe that she had the audacity to say that she never disrespected him and his family.
Yeah, that's
Yes,
ridiculous.
she did. Every second she was on the show, she disrespected him and his family.
Yep.
Like, why would you do that?
Yep, I completely agree. And like Donna said, he's the only one that doesn't want a green card, that doesn't want to come here, that isn't, I can't say, but he makes it very apparent that that is not what he's after. He doesn't give a shit about her money. He liked her for her, and that's that, until she came over and disrespected his family. Then he had a whole new outlook. He's like, I can't be.
Yeah, when he called her a gringa,
Yeah,
I was like, oh, he definitely sees her in a different light. Because he was like, you come over here and you act like you're so much better than me because you make more money than me. And he's like, we work 3 times as hard as you've ever worked in your life. He's like, so stop trying to make it seem like I'm just this peasant, right? And you're doing a charity by helping me. He's like, because first of all, I actually work. And I don't want to say that April doesn't work, but I can say this. Doctors' caseload is a lot because of the importance of their work. It's life and death, but it's not a lot of physical work. She's not carrying boxes, she's not like, Valentine is doing physical work.
Yep.
And the caseload of a doctor, I'm not even going to try to put it down in any way. It's insane. The emotional things that you go through as a doctor, because sometimes you can't save people. Sometimes there's situations where it's going to affect you emotionally. But Valentine is doing the type of work where you're carrying boxes, you're moving furniture, you're doing things all day, every day in the hot sun. So it is a different type of physical work that he's referring to. And he was just like, why do you make it seem like because I don't make a lot of money, I'm not a hard worker? There's people who work very hard and they don't make a lot of money. That doesn't make them any less of a hard worker.
She more or less said the same thing to his mother and grandmother when she was like, oh, go ahead, your hands are tougher than mine. Yeah, because they've been their whole life.
She was so disrespectful, and then she says she never disrespected them. Whatever. I didn't like April, and I still don't like her.
She said on a live with me and Scott that she texted his family after the episode aired and apologized, and they said, for what? We didn't feel disrespected. But those text messages.
She didn't understand what she was saying.
Well, right, because I was like, well, I don't know. I know that I posted some text messages on my broadcast channel on Instagram where they were talking about that, and I got a different feeling from how they felt based on those messages. So I don't want to say anyone's not telling the truth because I don't know, I wasn't there. Yeah. But it does seem like some people are making it seem like their actions were not as bad as they were. It does seem that way by saying, oh, well, they weren't really upset. It was just for the show. I don't know. If you come to my house and you say some stuff about my mom, I'm going to be a bit offended.
Absolutely.
It's not, whether they're cameras or not, like, I'm going to be a bit offended. Like, my mom, pretty high up on the, pole of people that I respect. So you come to my house and you talk about her and you talk about the way she cooks. You talk about the way that she cleans and you talk about her bathroom. I'm just going to say, I'm going to be a bit offended. I might ask you to leave in a very nasty way.
And then acting like you barfing the whole time. I mean, like, that is so. I think maybe he was acting like that because he didn't want his family to realize that she was actually disrespecting them. I think that he wanted them to have a better what's the word I'm looking for? Like a better look at her. You know what I'm saying? Or like a good relationship and not start off on the wrong foot. But when she went in, it's like she went in like the full speed ahead. She was disrespecting them left and right.
Yeah, she was so out of line. It seriously made me sick. I liked her in the beginning. I was like, go girl.
I never liked her.
I did. First episode, I thought she was great. Couldn't wait to see, how this love story unfolded. By episode 2, I was like, nope.
So, oh, one thing about Scotty I forgot to talk about. So after Liz departed the island without giving him the conversation he was asking for, he decided to meet back up with Lydia, who apparently was still on the island. I thought that she was gone. He decided to have a conversation with Lydia and something about he has been withholding the truth from women for a long time and he wanted to give her the truth. I can't imagine how this conversation is going to go positively because Lydia made it very clear how she felt about him. She said, I wish he never came to the island. I wish that I never met him. So to go back and tell her like, oh, well, I was talking to this other person, none of this is going to be relevant now. It's only going to cause a huge issue. And if Nicole is still on the island too, there will be drinks thrown, there will be screaming, there will be a lot. So I'm not exactly sure what Scotty wants to accomplish by going back and having a conversation with Lydia after what went down, but that's what we're going to get next week on the finale. So I'm kind of excited to see it because I kind of wanted to see Lydia and Nicole find Scott and Liz together and see how that went. But since we're not going to get this, I guess this is the next best thing, right?
First of all, there's no reason that those bitches should still be on the island.
What if
We
their
thought
flights,
we got rid of them. Why are they back?
what if their flights were already booked though? They can't leave, right?
Get out. Just get out. Swim. They can get out.
Let them walk
Because
home. Who cares at this point? I mean,
technically Scotty ended their trip early. They were supposed to be there for 2 weeks, and I think he ended it after like 5 days. So I think Lydia might have actually been stuck on the island for the rest of the trip, right?
But Scott took Liz somewhere else.
Yeah,
That's where
they went to a resort. You're right. So he was being mindful of that because if they were still staying at that resort for the rest of the 2 weeks, I would have rather have seen that happen, but he was being mindful of keeping everyone safe. Good for you, Scott, but we would have watched it either way. I would have had my popcorn. I would have been watching it either way.
But still, so Liz went the first time to fight for Scott, and then once she realized that she didn't have any competition, I'm out. So now when Scott to Lydia again, is Liz gonna come running back in? Okay, like that. I'm glad he avoided that, but it's sad because you could see he really, truly, I can't say loves her, but he definitely had deep feelings. So it's sad what she did to him, but I think Scott needs to run away from all of them. All those bitches.
I mean, I definitely think Lydia was not the right choice. And now that we met Liz, I've seen how she reacted to him. She basically ran away when things got too serious.
Yep.
So she's not serious about him.
Because
she took the money.
she said from the get-go. She said from the get-go when she came on the show last week, she does not want nothing serious. She just don't want nobody taking her money.
Yep.
She said it.
Well, she did take the money and run because it had been like 2 years or a year and a half since they had even spoken. And then all of a sudden she found his emails and now she's on an island with him somewhere. That's very peculiar. Like, you haven't talked to the person, or he didn't even have her phone number. I think she blocked him from the number. And all of a sudden, she's on an island with this guy. Like, that's really interesting to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Old emails an old email, like, come on. And then we already knew it was a disaster waiting to happen because he was taking her to the resort that he had planned for him and Lydia. Not him and Liz, him and Lydia. We already knew this was a recipe for disaster.
I'm so disappointed in Scott right now. Do you see what he just said? I don't even want to address that. I'm so mad.
I think he's talking
I didn't see what he said. What did he say?
I think he's talking about followers.
Oh.
Followers,
I hope he's talking about followers because we're talking about money.
Yeah, he didn't give her $30,000. He's talking about followers. Yeah, Scott actually, that from last week to this week, has doubled his followers. I think from 2 weeks ago, he was at like 11,000, and now he's at like 31 or 32,000. He's like doing insane.
He's at almost 33,000. He is talking about money.
Oh, he said, yeah, no, money. Scott, no, stop. Don't. That's not true. Please tell me that's not true. $30,000?
Damn. So he gave her $18,000 the first round that she took the money in, and then now giving her another $12,000. Dude.
Scotty, we need to interrogate you or something. What in the hell?
Why would you do that? Okay, and are y'all at least still in communication? Or did she take the money and run again? Like, that's December and March. So wait. So you 2 different times in 2 different amounts?
Scott?
I wasn't ready for that information. That's a lot, Scott.
Wow.
Scott, you need to send me Liz's information. She doesn't have me blocked yet.
At least is she like talking to you still though? Like, that's what I'm wondering.
The ghost, she's gone. Scott hasn't talked to her.
There's no
Done with her.
more competition, so she don't need to be around anymore. She's gonna have that old email again.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, Scott says he's done with her. Okay, good. Keep your money in your wallet, please, and thank you, because I'm worried about you. $30,000 is like a price of an SUV, Scott. Please stop. Don't give people SUVs. That is not something people gift people. Stop giving them money. Hey, Kim.
Hi, Kim.
Hi, Kim.
Oh, Vanessa's in labor. I'm so excited. Kim, you got to keep me updated when the baby is born. I need to know. Thank you. And congratulations, Vanessa. She's in labor right now.
I am. Yes, you are. I'm commenting all over the Scotty and Tiffany thing. I'm trying to make that.
So apparently, Scott is interested in Tiffany Franco. Have you guys heard that?
And it doesn't appear that she's not interested in it. She's
Yeah.
back.
I saw Scott on Tiffany's story the other day, and then Scott was talking about Tiffany on his story, and I noticed that they're now following each other
And
on social media.
She posted something about him not in so many words on her live makeup video today.
Really? Okay.
She captioned it, "Somebody's got a crush on me," or something like that, LOL. And then I watch a lot of her lives, and she had way more pep in her step today. Just saying.
Scott, is there something that we need to know?
She had way more pep in her step today.
Yeah, we need to have him on next week after on our little tell-all.
Yeah.
We all got questions that need to be answered.
I have way more questions, especially after today, after he decided, wait, I'm going to drop to my knees and ask her on a date. Oh, okay, so he really is pursuing something with Tiffany Franco. Okay.
He already dropped to his knees and begged her to follow him on Instagram, and that worked. So he might as well shoot a shot. Go get it.
I mean, if that's what you want, go for it. You know, Tiffany is kind of a firecracker, though. You need to be ready, because Tiffany doesn't take no crap from nobody. So I hope that you're ready, you know, for Tiffany and how Tiffany is a queen, okay? Like, so make sure you understand that you can't be acting crazy with Tiffany.
You need to get back from Liz just in case.
Yeah, you know, just she's not gonna take any crap. She doesn't need a daughter or a sister or anybody. She handles her own business, Scott. So just know, yeah, you're right. A Latina, exactly. She's feisty. So make sure that you're treating her right, please. We don't want you to get hurt. We don't want you to get hurt.
And you will. You will, we promise.
Oh my goodness.
All right, so somebody said that there was more than one episode left. I was told there's only one episode next week. So
next week is the last episode, because the following Sunday, the new 90-day fiance comes on.
Got it. Okay, so next week's the finale. We're going to get the end of the stories on the show, and then we're going to go live right after the show ends. And we're going to talk to Carlos has agreed to come on. Valentine has to come on. We're still working on getting Megan, Jessica's friend, on.
I'll text Megan tonight.
Yeah, see if she'll come on. And Scott, obviously, you need to come on because I have questions. I have a bunch of questions. So we're going to try to get some closure on that for Love in Paradise this season. I'm excited, though. This has been a really good season. We were really excited, and I feel like it panned out. I feel like it did. I felt like
on our knees.
I felt like it started out slow, but it panned out, and I'm happy with this season. And we didn't get nobody getting married. But
we're gonna have to get on our knees next week and beg Tiffany to come on and say yes. I'm rooting for Scott and Tiffany so hard. Everybody's against me and doesn't see it, but I don't care. I'm rooting for that one. I think they'll.
oh, Shelly, yes, Jessica and Juan are still together. They're not physically in the same place yet, though, but they are still together.
Yes.
But oh, you're gonna see them next week too, because the last ultrasound that she has before she gives birth, when she's on right before the cruise, the last cruise, they're gonna film that, and then that'll be on the finale next week. But yeah, they're still physically together as a couple. They're not physically in the same place though. He's not in America yet. He's not in Wyoming yet. I think it's Wyoming.
Yeah.
Can you imagine living in Wyoming? I feel so bad for him. But
all town.
I know he's used to living in paradise, and then he's gonna move to Wyoming, and I can't imagine how he's gonna take that. Okay, guys, so we're gonna come back next week for the finale episode, kind of tell-all, I guess we'll call it, the George Mossey Show tell-all with Cara and DeeDee, and we're gonna talk to the cast members. It'll be a long one, so get a drink, get some snacks, because we're gonna try to get as much that we can out of the cast members that they're allowed to tell us. We know they can't tell us everything, but we're gonna work really hard to pull teeth, right? We're gonna try to get as much as we can. We're gonna try to get some information from Megan on what she found out about Juan's mistress. So we'll be talking about all that. All right, guys, I'm George Mossey. Follow me on all social media platforms at George Mossey, GeorgeMossey.com. Anywhere you get your podcast, Apple Music, iHeartRadio, it's all there. And follow my co-hosts to DeeDee and Cara. It's important that you do that because we all are in this together. All right, guys, we'll talk to you guys next week.
All right, bye.
Bye.
Bye.